What's up, everyone? It's crunch time. What I mean by that is I have a track day in a few days, so I got to get the car buttoned up. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of the side projects completed before the track day. It would be ideal so I could kind of test it out on the track and see how it goes. But the project that I might not finish is the little duct that I'm working on, as well as I ordered a smaller pulley for the previous video. I was not making as much boost as I wanted to on the intercooler setup. We think there's some pressure loss with the front mount intercooler. I got the smaller pulley in. It's so easy to install, but given the short lead time or lack of scheduling a dyno and coordinating it with the tuner, I'm not going to be able to get it in before the track day. So that's going to probably have to wait until after that. So today, again, is just working on buttoning up the car so I am ready for track day. Okay, first thing I got to do is finish up this intake duct because I can't run it like this. I did get the longer intake hose as well as like a little filter or mesh screen. So I'm thinking about putting this here, or maybe play around with the long hose and extend this piece all the way out and maybe put this on the front of this. But yeah, gonna work on that first. I was able to put the little mesh screen onto the connector or the coupler and stuck it through the headlight cover, trying to see how it would look. Looks kind of ghetto, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I need that worm clamp. It's pretty snug around the coupler, so maybe it'll look cleaner without the worm clamp. Kind of like just get this on here temporarily just to see what it looks like. I don't know. Looks kind of weird sticking out. Let's try it with the hood closed. What do you guys think? Looks kind of weird. Maybe I should just keep the mesh screen inside the housing. But to be honest, this is probably the best setup to get 100% fresh, unobstructed airflow into the supercharger. Here's the mesh screen inside the housing instead of being in front of the cover. I'll put the cover on in a second. But I don't know, it kind of looks clean this way too. It's cool that how the mesh screen just so happens to kind of like sit down here on the internal housing to kind of like point it and make it like super flush. But check this out with the headlight cover. I don't know. I think that's looking kind of clean. A little offset, but I'm liking the way that goes. Let's check it with the hood down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this way. Looks way cleaner. Before I button up the intake, I removed it to do a boost pressure leak test. I did this actually prior to doing the dyno tune, but I'm doing it again just to double check. And the main purpose of this is I'm trying to figure out why I lost some boost in the dyno or after I've installed the intercooler. So the theories are pressure drop from the new intercooler, or I have a leak that I didn't catch from the previous time I did this little test. So what I'm going to do is pressurize the system to expose any potential leaks. And the way I'm going to do that is a compressor, and how I'm going to get the compressed air into the intake to pressurize the system and check for leaks is this boost pressure leak test kit from Amazon, I guess. And it comes with various sizes in which you can plug one end of a hose, and gives a quick disconnect to be able to connect your compressed air fitting to. So this will go into the intake. I'll clamp it down. The kit also comes with a pressure regulator. So this is gonna hook the compressor to here into the little cap, and that would allow pressure buildup here into the supercharger and to the rest of the plumbing. So if any of the plumbing or anywhere else here has a leak, I should be able to hear it, feel it. Or I also have some soapy water that I'm going to spray around suspect areas to kind of be able to see if it bubbles and has a leak. I've done this a long time ago, and I did find a leak one time when I first had the supercharger installed, and it was coming from the fuel injectors. The way the O-ring was sitting into the throttle body, I guess, was not correct, and so I had to space it out with some washers. That's why there's those bronze looking or copper washers in there. But I'm gonna do that first again, just to double check that my pressure loss is not just from the intercooler. I just want to make sure it's not from another boost leak somewhere. I got the compressor filled up, connected to the pressure regulator, to the intake hose that goes to the supercharger. Put some Teflon there. I already sprayed some of the joints with soapy water, like you could tell there. I forgot to mention that I also turned the boost gauge towards me, so I could actually read out how much pressure the system is holding. And now I'm going to turn the regulator on. You can see I'm already at 5 psi. Gonna turn off the regulator so it's quiet. And I don't hear or see any leaks. Oh, maybe a little leak down there. Hard to see, but it is kind of bubbling there. So maybe I'll tighten that up. But I don't think that's enough to kind of have a 2 psi loss. When I had a big pressure leak in the past, it's really audible. But this is quiet. And you could tell it's holding pressure because once I release this guy, all of the air comes out. So maybe I can put a little Teflon down where the water nozzle is, but not a real big concern. So gonna continue buttering her up. Okay, I've been saying it for a while, but I gotta replace those rusted and kind of shaved off or scraped up fasteners on the splitter, so that's what I'm gonna do now. This guy right here. Need some new guys here. Everything back here is looking fresh now. All new hardware. Something I forgot to do that I still need to do, I guess, to put the bumper back on is from my first video where these tabs were interfering with the intercooler. I need to shave them off. So I'm just going to use a Dremel with an abrasive wheel to knock them off. So we'll do that next. I gotta keep an eye on the tabs, or I need to loosen the intercooler and push it back just so it's right up against this, but also not preventing it from going in all the way. What I'm gonna do is Dremel out a little bit more of this bumper to give me more clearance. I'm already maxed out on the intercooler side on how much I could push it back, so gonna work on the other side. Still not fitting, so I'm gonna do some more dremeling. I think I kind of marked it in gold, hard to see, but I think I'm gonna knock off some more of this bumper because it's only hitting here. I was shaving all of this, but there's clearance there. It's just this part here. One of my favorite things about the car is the aero, especially the wing. It's currently upside down right now. But the aero in the wing came from RS Future. RS Future also mounted it onto my car. And what's cool about the way they mounted it is it's kind of like chassis mounted. What I mean by that is it's not on the trunk. Normally people would drill holes on their trunk to mount their wing, but RS Future, you have these little brackets here that kind of mount it on the rear quarters, and it's supposed to be stronger than the actual trunk. But I like this mounting style because it avoids you from drilling holes onto your trunk, and in my case especially, since I have a carbon fiber trunk. So I'm gonna get the wing mounted up. Tell me that doesn't look dope. A little big, but it is functional. Okay, I'm done. Everything's looking clean. I may stick with the tires I'm currently running. Is AR1s. I do have a pair of slicks that I can put on, but maybe I'll bring them as kind of like a backup. The reason I don't want to put the slicks on is because there's a lot of changes to the car, namely the intercooler and the surge tank. I kind of want to be focused on making sure everything feels right with those two big changes, and managing cold tires on slicks in a cold season is something I don't want to be doing at the same time. So I will do that instead. Okay, that's it for today. Until the next one, I'll catch you all later.